Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Courtney and today we're going to be talking about the 4-Hour Workweek and the 4 most important takeaways from this book. This is a book by Tim Ferriss and it's an absolute must-read for anybody in the FIRE movement community. For those unfamiliar with the book, the main premise is how to separate your time from your money. And he also has techniques on how to reduce your stress and workload along the way. This book is made up of a bunch of short stories about the author's travels and business techniques that have allowed him to live a much freer and happier life. So the first key takeaway from this book is the differences between the new rich and the old rich. The old rich are basically people who work their entire life to climb the corporate ladder and typically only becoming rich after much of their life has passed them by. He describes the new rich as people who have much different priorities and philosophies from those of the old rich. Typically, the new rich tend to think outside of the box and think of ways to separate their money from their time spent in the office and replace that for the life that they want to live. And you don't actually have to be rich to do this. The quote that I thought best summarized this concept is as follows: "Living like a millionaire requires doing interesting things and not just owning enviable things." And I love this idea. As someone who's interested in minimalism and travel, this rings so true to me. To me, being rich isn't just having a huge house with a bunch of stuff in it. Being rich to me is experiencing all of the things that I want to experience in this life. The rest of the book is basically just an instruction manual about how to free up your time in order to make this happen. It explains how to free up the time to do interesting things while making money at the same time to fund them. Which brings us to point number 2, the 80-20 rule. The 80-20 rule, or the Pareto Principle, as it was first summarized by Wilfredo Pareto in 1896, states that 80% of life's outcomes comes from 20% of the inputs. This concept is constantly referred to in the book. Some examples include 80% of your business sales probably come from 20% of your customers, or 80% of your time is wasted doing 20% of your tasks. And the main point is that if you can identify the 20% chunks that are the real drivers of your productivity, you can shift your attention to focus on those 20% of things that make value, which is a really neat concept. And this is applied throughout the book to different areas of life. And he also describes the tools you can use to put this into practice. Point 3 of the 4-Hour Workweek is to understand what you are working for. Most people, according to the author, are just working for work's sake. In essence, people just go through the motions of work. Study hard, go to college, get a job, and get those little promotions along the way. We do this because that's all we've been taught, and that's all we really know. At the end of the day, most people don't know why we're really doing it. The same can be said for people dedicating their life to early retirement. If you're working to retire just to sit on the couch, you're probably not going to get any fulfillment from early retirement. So focusing on why you're doing what you're doing prevents you from making sacrifices just for sacrifice's sake. To address this, he highly recommends taking mini retirements throughout life. Mini retirements are exactly what they sound like: taking off work or severely limiting your work in order to focus on doing what you want to do in the moment. Oftentimes that entails traveling to new places or honing in on new skills that will allow you to sharpen your mind. By scattering these little retirements throughout life, it allows you to quantify what you want to get out of life at the current moment and lets you think critically about your next steps and what you want to do in the future. And the 4th main takeaway from the 4-Hour Workweek is to start doing the uncomfortable. The more comfortable you are with the uncomfortable, the better prepared you will be for life's challenges. Scattered throughout the book are challenges that Tim Ferriss gives you in order to get more comfortable feeling uncomfortable. This can be anything from lying on your back in public spaces or trying to secure a phone call with Bill Gates. The main concept here is that once you realize that nothing bad actually happens from being uncomfortable, you'll realize that the fear of being uncomfortable is much worse than the action itself. He also explains that travel is an amazing way to force yourself outside of your comfort zone. Being in a different country or culture forces you to think and act in different ways than you normally wouldn't, which is a tremendous brain exercise in itself. But it also gives you a boost of confidence and happiness. Because at the end of the day, our time here on Earth is limited, so we might as well soak up as much of it as possible. And those are my 4 main takeaways for the 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. I would highly recommend this book, especially to those interested in financial independence and traveling. It's littered with tips and tricks about productivity, entrepreneurship, and just about all the bits in between. If you enjoyed the content of today's video, please be sure to like and subscribe. And if you've read the 4-Hour Workweek and there are any major takeaways that you thought I missed, please leave those in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.